Welcome to Entrepreneurial Entrails for some short stories on the guts and glories of being an entrepreneur.
Short people got no reason. Short people got no reason.
Hey, it's Elizabeth Plouffe, and you're listening to Entrepreneurial Entrails, Guts, the Glories, the Stories of Being an Entrepreneur. And the short people thing, well, I am short. Height-wise, short on patience, short on a few things. And my other podcast, Across the Desk, is a lot longer, so I thought I'd keep this one shorter. So beyond the babbling, hit me over the weekend. I was doing some work on my communications business and going through some exercises, and I started going through my notes. And I'm a pen and paper kind of girl. It's how I create, or whiteboarding or whatever. Recording things electronically. That's a lot of ums. Recording things electronically has its benefits, totally agree with that, but for me, pen and paper is the way to go. The challenge that I found with pen and paper is that I'm not particularly good at organizing the notes after into usable things. Or I take all these notes and I have these great ideas and all this stuff, and then I forget that I've done it. I move on to other things, or I get other good ideas, and then somehow or another I end up circling back to that idea. And I could be halfway through rewriting the ideas that I've already had before I realize, shit, I've written that down somewhere before. So I started thinking about that, and I'm sure I'm not the only pen and paper devotee as far as getting business ideas down. A lot of ums and ahs today. My apologies. But one thing that I started to consider is, what am I losing by having these ideas trapped on paper and not immediately putting into effect some kind of plan to have them in an organized, timely, usable fashion? I've tried Evernote, doesn't really work for me. I've just recently restarted using OneNote so that I can either take a picture or whatever and add it. I've looked into organizational books, and there's one I think is David Posen about getting organized and making action lists instead of to-do lists, and all of these things, but I'm not necessarily putting them into action as well as I could. So I started thinking to myself, what are you losing by not putting this in? What am I gaining by writing it down? So I am gaining a lot by writing it down because there's that tactile attachment to the activity, and you tend to create better memories when you write stuff down, which is probably why when I circle back to the idea, I have that brain fart where I go, oh, sugar, I already wrote that down. So I started thinking, okay, it is useless from me to you. It is useless if you write stuff down and don't put some kind of process in place to make use of that information. You're losing time, you're losing money, you're potentially losing the opportunity to partner, because if one of the ideas, I had an idea over the weekend, how to partner with a friend of mine who's an amazing sales trainer and do a combination workshop. If I don't act on that, then not only am I losing the opportunity to do the workshop and connect deeper with that partner, I'm losing a lot. So I'm looking to you, dear listeners, to find out, how do you record your stuff? Are you an audio person? How do you process information? And what do you do once you've had that great idea to make sure that it comes to fruition and you make it an action item? And as it happens, this is one of my notes that I took, was all about this podcast, and I'll read to you what I wrote here. You can hear me getting all my crap together here. So, infamous in my own mind for having great spurts of creativity, writing it all out and then letting it rot. It's like a stinky banana you find in the bottom of your lunch bag. And then you write it all out all over again because your brain reminds you that this was a great idea, but you need to get that shit off the page and make it work for you. Doesn't matter where you record it, by the way. If you are an audio person and you use Keep or the recorder on your phone or whatever, Evernote, and you take an audio note, if it's still sitting there and you never go back to it, it's still as good as that rotten banana in the bottom of your lunch bag. So what's it costing you? What could you be learning? What's your plan to unleash your creative beast and make use of that stuff that rolls around in your brain. Your business depends on it. Your business depends on you having those creative spurts and coming up with those ideas and everything, but your brain and your business also depend on you taking action and having some kind of process in place where you get that banana, that stinky banana, out of your lunch bag and turn it into banana bread. That's my lemon and lemonade thing, because I enjoy banana bread far more than I enjoy lemonade. So I'd love to hear from you. How do you get those notes, those creative spurts, and put them into action? What are you doing to make that happen? Hope you're having a great day. Lots of creativity to you today, and we'll talk soon. Bye-bye.